As World War II came to a close, a new sound began to whisper, then scream across the sky. It was the sound of the jet engine. German engineers had been the first to put a jet fighter into combat with the Messerschmitt Me-262. Allied pilots who encountered it were stunned. It was faster than anything they had ever seen, able to fly nearly 100 miles per hour, faster than the best propeller fighters. It didn't have a propeller. Instead, it spat fire and smoke from engines under its wings. This was a revolution. The Me-262 arrived too late to change the outcome of the war, but it showed everyone what the future of air combat would look like. The transition was not just about changing the engine. It was about rethinking the entire airplane. A jet engine works by sucking in air, compressing it, mixing it with fuel, and igniting it. This creates a powerful blast of hot gas that thrusts the plane forward. This new technology allowed for speeds that piston engines could never hope to achieve. To handle this speed, aircraft designers had to make big changes. Wings were swept back, like on the American F-86 Sabre and the Soviet MiG-15. This design helped delay the onset of shock waves as the plane approached the speed of sound, making it more stable and controllable at high speeds. This new generation of fighters met in the skies over Korea in the early 1950s. The Korean War was the first major conflict of the jet age. American pilots in their F-86 Sabres found themselves in a deadly contest with North Korean and Chinese pilots flying the Soviet-made MiG-15. These two jets were remarkably similar in performance. The dogfights in MiG Alley, a patch of sky over North Korea, were fought at speeds and altitudes that would have been unimaginable just a decade earlier. The lessons learned in Korea were profound. Air combat was now happening faster than a human pilot could react. Technology was becoming just as important as the pilot's skill. The old days of seeing your enemy, closing in, and opening fire, were changing. The jet age brought new challenges. Pilots needed new training, new tactics, and new tools to survive. The race for air superiority had entered a new and much faster lane. The sound barrier was once thought to be an unbreakable wall. Pilots who approached it reported violent shaking and a loss of control. But on October 14, 1947, a man named Chuck Yeager climbed into a rocket-powered plane called the Bell X-1. He was dropped from a bomber, ignited his rocket engine, and pushed his aircraft faster and faster. Then a sonic boom echoed across the desert floor. He had done it. He had flown faster than the speed of sound. This historic flight opened the floodgates. The challenge for designers was no longer just to reach supersonic speed, but to make it a routine part of combat. This became a central goal of the Cold War. To fly faster than sound, you needed more than just swept wings. The area rule was a key breakthrough. An engineer named Richard Whitcomb discovered that a plane's drag was related to its total cross-sectional area. This led to the Coke bottle fuselage shape, pinched in the middle, which you can see on fighters like the F-102 Delta Dagger and the F-106 Delta Dart. This design helped the aircraft slip through the sound barrier more easily. Engines also became dramatically more powerful with the invention of the afterburner, which sprayed fuel directly into the hot exhaust for a massive temporary boost in thrust. With this new speed came new weapons. The guns that had defined air combat for decades were becoming less effective. At supersonic speeds, lining up for a perfect shot was nearly impossible. The solution was the guided missile. Early missiles, like the AIM-9 Sidewinder, were heat seekers. They had a sensor in their nose that would lock onto the hot exhaust of an enemy jet engine. A pilot no longer had to be directly behind an enemy to get a kill. They could launch a missile from a distance and let it do the work. This fundamentally changed tactics. The dogfight was evolving into a long-range chess match. This era produced some of the most extreme and specialized aircraft ever built. The Lockheed F-104 Starfighter was nicknamed the Missile with a man in it. It was designed for pure speed and climb rate, a hot rod interceptor meant to shoot down Soviet bombers. Its wings were so thin and sharp they were a danger to the ground crews. On the other side of the Iron Curtain, the Soviets built the MiG-21, a simple, rugged, and incredibly fast fighter that was produced in huge numbers. The Cold War was a technological arms race, and the skies were the main arena. Each side pushed the limits of speed and altitude, creating machines that were beautiful, terrifying, and right on the edge of what was possible.